Hello, I'm Jessica Liley. Welcome to Aussie Wristwatch. This is my channel where I enjoy just talking about watches. And today I am super excited because I reached out to a brand I've had my eye on here in Australia for quite some time. And I asked them, hey guys, I'm actually a fan of your brand. I've been looking at it for a very long time. I have a little humble YouTube channel. Would you do me a solid and would you let me have a lend of a couple of your watches so I can do some reviews? One of the founders, Roger, reached back, which I was really surprised about because I kind of sent that out and went, well, you don't ask, you don't get, and let's just see. And Roger was exceptionally kind. We had a brief chat over the phone and it became very evident to me that he is a super watch fan. And we, had we let ourselves, could have just spoken about the history of watches all day, but we did not. But he agreed to lend me a couple of watches for my channel. So thank you, Roger, and thank you, Panzera. And in the interest of full disclosure, he also kindly said I could keep one of the watches, and I just want to be transparent about that. I don't want to gloat. I just want to be very grateful for that. I'm not getting paid for these, but they have done that. So thank you. In any event, if you're watching this, out of the two that I'm going to do over this month, one's a Motorsport watch, one is a diver's watch. I haven't made a choice yet about which one to keep. I'm trying to keep it separate so I can kind of just look at them with fresh eyes. So before we get started, do me a favor, guys. Please hit the like button. I really appreciate the support so far. I've had some really great engagement since I've started this channel in earnest. And yeah, if you really like the channel, please subscribe. That's even more important. But both of those things help me out immensely with the YouTube algorithm to get me noticed and just keep it ticking along. So let's get into this video. So as I said, I'm going to do a review on two Panzera watches, one today and one later in the month. And today's watch is from the Motorsport collection and it's the Time Master 42. And we'll get into those details very shortly. Panzera, for those of you who don't know their background, they're based in Sydney, Australia. Two gents founded the company back in 2009, one Aussie, one with a Swiss background, and basically were two watch lovers. They started off distributing other people's watches here and eventually moved over into watch design and watchmaking. Their first watch was inspired by the IWC Big Pilot, so it was a Flieger watch. It very much had influences of the Big Pilot watch in it. I've seen it online in photos. It looked like a pretty epic watch and it was very popular and still remains popular to this day. And so the ethos of the company is to take the watches that they love or are inspired by and develop watches that are affordable, good quality, with a modern take, and just basically cool. I think they've pretty much done that. I mean, so today, the Time Master 42 that I've got on is very much inspired by racing watches with a very modern take. And it's pretty cool, and I'm actually enjoying wearing it as we speak. This is my wrist check. I want to take you through the specs now, and then we're going to talk a little bit about just my thoughts and observations on the watch and what I do and don't like. Okay, so the movement is a mechanical automatic NH35 Japanese movement with 24 joules. It's got a date function, hacking seconds, 41-hour power reserve with a 42mm diameter case. Screw down case back with screw down crown, engraved serial number, and a thickness of 12.65mm. Strap options are soft genuine Italian cow leather, Italian rubber straps with pin buckle clasps. There's a fast release chain system for the straps. So I should point out, when you go online to buy one of these watches, because predominantly all their business is online through their website, details in the description. You can pick what strap you want. So not only can you pick this watch in stainless steel, so classic silver look basically, but you can pick it in black, which is the one I've got on today. You can also pick which strap. So I picked the rubber. There's another cool strap which is brown Italian leather with punched holes, which is very vintage racing in my mind, a very specific look. But I gotta say, I asked the guys if I could get this watch in this configuration just because I thought it was a little different, you know, the black and the rubber strap. And the reason, I don't know, this strap to me screams motorsport. I don't know whether I've been watching too much Formula One and I've got like the whole medium compound tire stuck in my head, you know, the yellow stripe on that. But that's definitely, this watch has racing vibes to me just because of this strap. In the same way that their brown strap has very much vintage racing vibes. So from that point of view, I think it ticks the boxes. Now the dial is midnight black. It's got luminous hands and it's got luminous hour markers, and it's water resistant to 100 meters. It also has a glass sapphire crystal, and there's an exhibition case back for those of you who love those things, which I do. Now, okay, so some of you are probably going, where is the chronograph? Well, not on this watch. No, this I think is more for the motor enthusiast. So it's the kind of stylish watch that's going to sit perfectly on your wrist, driving your car on a Sunday afternoon through the countryside, or like me, doing racing laps, I'm just kidding by the way, around the Lower North Shore. I can have my hands at 10 and 2 and I can flick it and I can see exactly what the time is in the split second, which is the whole point of a motorsport watch. And let's face it, I have a Tag Monaco and I've never used those complications, and I certainly have not used them for racing. Well, A, because I don't really race, even though I have a sporty car and I love the concept of speed, but you know, I live in a city where you just can't do that. So in any event, Panzera still heard you, and they actually have later this month launching a quartz chronograph 45mm Motorsport, so a Time Master 45, and it looks, if you go on their website, it looks pretty epic, I must say. I'm super excited to see this watch when it comes out. It does have the very traditional racing vibes, like a Daytona. You know, we've got the chronograph on there, the tachymeter, like the whole kit and caboodle is on that watch. It's a busy watch. This to me is a very simplistic watch, and I actually really like that about this watch. It's also, being a 42mm dial, for me, it's on the smaller side because, as you know, I love a big watch, but I think it sits quite perfectly. And you'll be seeing here the downside that I'm about to talk about, but we'll get to that in a sec. But yeah, 42mm for me, and I think it's because of the profile as well, so it sits a bit higher. So it's a bit of a junkier watch. It doesn't feel tiny to me. I hate a tiny watch, but it's kind of just right. And it's great quality. Like, there's some real genuine heft to this watch, so it's not like ridiculously heavy, but it just, you know you're wearing a watch. It's the polar opposite of the moon swatch I had on last week with the bioceramic that just felt like I was wearing nothing. So let's talk about the downsides, which are not huge, but for completeness, let's cover them off. So I've spoken to you about this strap and how much I love it. I just don't love the size of it. So there you go. But to be fair, these are technically men's watches, so I get that. Even though I don't like the distinction either way, I kind of hope one day we can just be unisex, because I just kind of like to wear what I like to wear. It doesn't matter whether it's a female or a male watch, whatever. There are a number of strap options. As far as I'm aware, there's not a lot of strap sizing options. So maybe guys, even if it's just for me, if you could just do maybe a slightly smaller strap. There's got to be other men out there with slightly smaller wrists. I have a 16.5 centimeter wrist, so I don't have an itty bitty wrist. I actually probably have a relatively average size wrist. So yeah, I mean, this is always my problem, the strap. But like I said, it's not a fatal problem. It's just an observation. Now, the other purists are probably going to be like, well, it's a Japanese movement, it's not Swiss made. I think the company slowly about to move into that Swiss space, but I don't know anything about it and I'm not going to comment any further. But watch this space, I guess, is all I'd say there. But like all, if not most, micro watch brands, they are not Swiss movements. I'm probably overgeneralizing now, and someone in the comments is going to list out all the ones that are. But it's a robust Japanese movement that they're using in here. And you guys know me, I don't purport to be a watch expert, which means I don't purport to be an expert on movements. But in my humble research online, the NH35 Japanese movement is relatively robust. It's a decent movement at this price point, in fact. And like I said, these guys aim with these watches anyway to make a stylish, very good quality watch that is affordable watch enthusiast. So with that criteria in mind, I think they've nailed that. This watch retails, I'm going to get this wrong off the top of my head, around $700. They offer a deal if you're buying your first watch online. You actually get a 40% discount. No, it's pretty good, right? I mean, it actually genuinely is a very good deal. They do offer that. They are trying to appeal to the watch enthusiast. They do have a loyal following online. I've been online and I've had a look. They have customers put reviews on their website. People love their watches. They think they're cool. They think they're stylish. I would tend to agree with that, particularly with this watch. So that, everyone. And thank you again, Panzera, for sending me this watch. So excited that I got to look at this watch and review it. I think it's amazing. I am going to put it back on again because I'm still very nervous. I'm going to drop it. I won't drop it, I promise. But thank you. Thank you so much for letting me get my hands on this watch to review it. I think it's a solid product. I think if you love a nice, clean, lined watch with a solid movement that's comfortable, has a little bit of pizzazz, I reckon you should give this watch a try, guys. Like, and I'm not just saying that because these guys were nice to me. Like, there's a reason I wanted to see this watch for a long time. I've always liked the look of it, and seeing it in the flesh has just reaffirmed that for me. So that's all I've got for you today. Please, if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Also subscribe to my channel. Come back when I do the follow-up review on their dive watch, which I think is going to be epic. I haven't seen it yet, but it looks amazing online. And if this one is anything to go by, I think it's not going to disappoint. Thanks again, guys. Until next time.